Your start. Oh,
I am starting. Okay. Um, hey, welcome back to a Go Teen Writers chat with Jill and Stephanie. So, my topic idea for today was how hard it is to write in December. Because for me, it is very hard to write in December. And Jill was like, "Well, that's not really true for me."
you
So,
kidding me? I get 2 weeks off. 2 weeks I get to write. Oh, that's four. But
that's it's very enthusiastic too.
I was like, what do you mean?
So, um, obviously December comes with some different energy, and we will talk about both of these perspectives that you might find yourself in the perspective of like, why can't I make any progress on my book? Or you might find yourself with extra time on your hands, or you might get both. You might have like the first 2 weeks of December are super busy, and then once we hit to the holidays and school getting out and everything, that you have more space. So, for me, I feel like December has kind of Friday afternoon energy, where it's not quite time to transition into new stuff, but it feels like I know I'm almost at the end. I'm almost at the end of the year. I'm about to be taking a break, but I'm not quite there yet. So I just really sometimes have a hard time feeling quite as motivated in December, or my routines have kind of like the rug has been pulled out from underneath me. There's, extra shopping that needs to be done, or there's guests who are coming, or there's extra like events at school. I have three kids who are in school. They've got, there's always like final concerts and final papers and final projects and all of these things. My to-do list is extra long because of all the December things. So I have a hard time with, even like when my kids are still in school, with just creating the mental space for writing. And then during Christmas break, I have my kids are at home instead of at school. So it's just louder at the house. And we frequently use that time for hosting family or for traveling. So I just find it a really tricky month to write. Jill, you have a different perspective.
I do usually. I do. Because I do as a teacher, I get 2 weeks off. And I'm really excited about that because I used to be a full-time writer and I got all kinds of stuff done. Um, and as a full-time teacher, I can't get all kinds of things done necessarily. And so I get excited about having just those extra 2 weeks of days to do stuff. Now I am in a different space in life than Stephanie. My children have graduated and are in college. My daughter is at the college program at Disney, and is even not even coming home for Christmas because Disney doesn't give you time off, so she won't even be here. This is the first time one of my children won't be here for Christmas. I'm gonna be okay,
Seriously.
but that's different. Um, and so that gives me time. Normally, we are actually going to go on a vacation this Christmas, so I forgot about that originally when I was arguing with Stephanie about all the time that I had in December. But the point is, December is always unexpected, and you never know what will happen. But if you do find yourself having that extra time, um, then what are you going to do with it? It's exciting, and I like to think about it. Gearing up to write, almost kind of like prep, prepping to write for Nano. Usually it's not as big as that because it's only 2 weeks and it's not necessarily 14 days because I don't write every day, and Christmas is in there, and I try not to write on Christmas. Like how I said, try. I don't think that I actually have ever written on Christmas Day, but I'm not going to swear to that because you know the morning is over and people are hanging out playing with their stuff or whatever, and there's Jill over in the corner. Yeah, it likely happened. I don't remember, but point being though, so usually it's not like I'm going to start a new book and treat those 2 weeks like it's National Novel Writing Month or something, and I'm going to try to do all this stuff. I like to daydream that I can because it's because I'm a workaholic, but but the reality is, as I think through, okay, what projects do I have that I either can continue or that I could get started, um, or even likely I'm editing because I can do something and I can make a lot of progress on something. And so I really got to think through, and I do try to pick one because it's not enough time for Jill to put on her multi-passionate creative randomizer hat and do 15 different or even two or three different books in 2 weeks. No, I like to pick one and stick with it and then make goals for what I want to accomplish. And maybe it's just I need to fix that broken chapter. If all I can do over Christmas break is fix that broken chapter, I'm going to be so excited. Um, and but maybe it's something bigger. Maybe it's like, oh, that ending was broken. I'm going to fix that ending over Christmas break. Or I'm going to plot a new story. Maybe it's just that. I'm going to plot a new story over Christmas break so that when the new year starts, I'm ready to write a new book. And you can totally plot something and plan it, do that prep in a 2 week time period. And so I get excited about how to use that time wisely because I know I'm going to have free time. Um, and so, yeah, that's kind of where my head's at usually in December.
Yeah, that's a good reminder to me that I mean, I know that my kids are always really excited when it's like, "Hey, school break, we've got time off and so we can do these things that we don't normally have time for." So some of you might find yourself in that situation, you're done with finals or um you get that extra gift of time. So I do have, if you are a person who you are struggling to find time to write in December or it's kind of a half and half month for you, I have a couple of ideas. I know it helps me to lower my expectations of what I'm going to get done. A couple years ago, we were doing a big house remodel and it happened to coincide with December, which was not really like what we envisioned when we decided to remodel, but that was just the way the calendar worked out. And I'm the person who works at home, so I'm the one who's working with contractors and all of that. And I decided ahead of time, I am just going to take December. I'm not going to write. I'm not going to, I got all of my blog posts done ahead of time. I was all ready. But once the kitchen remodel got going and once the contractors like knew what they were doing and we discussed everything, then like they didn't need me. It's not like I needed to be in the kitchen all the time while they're pulling out cabinets or whatever. So then I found myself, it felt like I was like, I'm gonna get to write. I'm gonna get to do this. So because I lowered my expectations of what I was going to get done, it felt like this huge gift that I got to do it at all. So sometimes just lowering those expectations can make a huge difference. Um, you also might find yourself um like making a push towards the end of December or towards the holidays or towards finals or something like that and just feeling depleted. Like you've given so much already during the month that the idea of writing during your break just you just can't even, it doesn't sound enjoyable to you. I would really encourage you to just listen to what your body and your brain are telling you and find a way to creatively recharge. Maybe it's watching movies, maybe it's reading books. I don't know what it is for you, but whatever way that you kind of refill your energy well, like it doesn't feel as productive necessarily as writing words, but it's really valuable to pay attention to if our creativity is feeling drained away. And then lastly, if you do feel like you can write, even if you can't write for long stretches of time or you can't maybe like you're not going to be able to write every day or something, try to write just a little bit either every day or most days or something, even if it's going back to that kind of 100 for 100 mentality where you're writing, you're taking 10 minutes to write 100 words or something. Just the act of kind of staying in your story can sometimes like keep some momentum going, even if it's not as much momentum as you would like. Um, Jill, do you have tips for our
I had
community?
something I was gonna say after the give yourself self permission not to type.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
I kind of got to backtrack a little bit.
That's okay.
um, so I wanted to agree with Stephanie on the to use that creative time to recharge, because just because you might be a workaholic like Jill and you have 2 weeks coming, it doesn't mean you have to write it all. Um, you don't have to. You can rest. You can take a break. You can just read the whole time. And I bet that would be fun for you because I know it would be fun for me. And so just because you think, oh, this time is coming, I have to make valuable use of it. You don't have to. You can say no, you don't have to. And that's okay. You can rest. It is good to rest. Our bodies need rest. And December is a great month for that. You know, you might be frustrated. You did have a plan and you were working on it. 3 days in, Uncle Clinton shows up from California and you weren't expecting him. And now your mom wants you to hang out and play games. And you're sitting there and you're feeling resentful because your time you had planned. Give your give yourself permission to let that go. And people are more important. The holidays are more important. Your family's more important. then those 2 weeks that you were going to try to get all this stuff. Not to say you have to quit. You can, like Stephanie said, then shift into a down gear into 100 for 100 mode. Then I'm just going to write just a teeny bit. Right when I wake up, before I leave my bedroom, they don't know that I'm awake.
I've
Just
done that.
squeeze in a little something and then go out there and just let it go. It's going to be okay. It's only 2 weeks, and there will be more time. Um, I did mention that normally I do write in December, but this December we're planning to go to Japan. And so because we couldn't, just because this is the trip we were supposed to go in the summer of 2020 that got canceled on us. And so we're like, well, my son's going to be graduating. Let's squeeze it in because he might have a job come next summer. So we're going, we're going over Christmas. I'm going to be in a different country for Christmas. That's weird, but I'm not going to be able to. And so I'm already getting in my headspace. Like if I do anything before I leave, it'll probably be to schedule a couple random social media posts, and that'll be it. And I'll take books with me and I'll read and I'll enjoy a different culture, and I will let that inspire my creativity. And that's okay. And so obviously sometimes you have plans and they get upset, and that's okay. You can roll with it. Um, so that's kind of just what I wanted to say, that for the workaholics out there who are like, oh yeah, I can also do work. Sometimes it's good to tell yourself, no, I'm not going to allow work. We're not having permission to do work. It is time to rest. And that's good too.
Yeah, that's good. So we're curious about what December is like for you. Are you somebody who it's really hard to write in December, or do you feel extra inspired because you have all this extra time on your hands? So let us know. We will see you in the next video, which will be next year. And we hope you guys have great holidays and enjoy your break.